Thank you for listening to Strictly Biased with Will Retherford. Every Monday, Will and I get together and wrap up the NFL week for a podcast that's released Tuesday morning. And every Friday, we get together and talk about the week that's coming up, preview each game, and make our predictions. And that's this podcast. Please tune in again Tuesday when Will and I recap Week 3 in the NFL. And the party begins now. Welcome, Central Indiana sports fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report, and here on the Riverside app with Will, and he and I are going to go through all of our previews and predictions for the NFL this week. Will is going head-to-head with the local media and the Central Indiana Sports Report staff, all the contributors to the Central Indiana Sports Report, in our NFL picks competition, and Will is here to do it live. Last week, Elijah Poe, our IndyCar guy and of the Ball State Daily News, set a record with 54 points. Jay Stevens of the Kokomo Post, 47. Greg Mengelt and Susie Mengelt both scored 45, and Susie and I are now tied. 85-85 at the top of the standings. Will has 84 points, tied with John Robertson, so it's very tight. At the top, tied for fifth place is Michelle Garman of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader, and Kevin Helfrich of the Action Sports Network. They both have 81. And then another point behind Elijah Poe. His 54 points could only get him up to tied for seventh with Daniel Bragg of Bragg Sports Media. Will, welcome back. Good week for you last week, and you're sitting in pretty good standing here in the competition.
Yeah, just got to stay smooth and steady. No bad weeks, no great weeks, just right there in the middle, and I think we'll like where we end up in the end.
Did you pick Miami by any chance? We're in the middle of the third quarter as we podcast.
I did not pick Miami. I picked Buffalo.
Not even producer Susie, a Dolphins fan, picked Miami, and she said she almost did, but she didn't. By the way, 21-21 late in the third quarter.
Tough board this week. It's tight spreads. This is a lot of teams that still have identities to find playing each other this week. It's going to be, I think this week is going to definitely weed out some people of the competition.
There are only 4 or 5 games I'm really confident about this week.
Yep.
And producer Susie and I, as I said, we're tied for first place in the competition. She and I picked 9 different winners out of the 16 games this week. So that should tell you everything that you need to know. Just a quick refresher, every game is worth 10 points. The favorite will be worth fewer points than the underdog. So if you pick the underdog and they win, you get bonus points essentially. But then, of course, you're taking the underdog. So that's kind of how that works. And we'll start with Thursday night. As I mentioned, we are recording on Thursday evening as the Dolphins and Bills sit 21-21. Of course, I'm going to trust you to not take into account what's happened tonight, what you were thinking coming into the game. And as we mentioned, you said you took the Bills. There would be good reason to take the Dolphins coming into this game because you get 9 times the points. In the NFL, I almost never do one team worth 9 and the other team worth 1 because it's almost never the case where a team is 9 times more likely to win. But Buffalo, I certainly think is one of those.
I think it was one of those games that you could view as a trap game. They are division opponents playing on a short week. They know each other well. But I still I think on confidence, you're picking the Bills money line. I think regardless, they've played a good game so far.
I still might take that spread right now. Will, I still might give up the 12.5 points at this point. That's how good Josh Allen is.
Yes.
I also took the Bills. I'm very confident in that one. Less confident now, but coming into the game was very confident.
Absolutely, I was quite confident as well.
Let's go to the Sunday 1 o'clock games, and we start with the Indianapolis Colts, who are favored in this one. Colts come in 2-0. Have I mentioned that, Will?
That you have.
The Colts are 2-0. And a 4.5 point favorites going into this one. The Titans are 0-2. I have the Colts were 3. The Titans were 7. We've had a few people take the Titans. I get the notion. Any chance you're taking the upset?
I am actually going to take the upset here. I think this is a classic trap game for the Colts. They're playing really well. The Titans are playing for their life. Their division opponents, I think I'm going to take the Titans here with worth 7.
Coming into the season, I picked the Titans to win this one. I think this Colts team, if they win this one, it's a really good sign.
I agree. Dad and I were just talking about that earlier. This could be one that I waffle on. We come back to later in the podcast, and I say, you know what, I'm going back and taking the Colts. But right now, I like this Titans that's getting 7 points versus the Colts.
I'm definitely taking the Colts, but I get the argument for sure, especially more than double the points. Speaking of more than double the points, both of the next games, one team's worth 7 and the favorite is worth 3. The Packers are 7.5 point favorites in Cleveland. Packers 2-0. Browns and 2. I think, Will, if you gave me the 7.5 points, I'd probably take it, but I got to take the Packers in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Packers here as well. I think that they're just playing too well. This might be, as far as complete team, might be the best in the league up to this point. They've come out early. The addition of Micah Parsons has been huge for their defensive line, really both in the run and the pass game. They're getting after the quarterback. They look really, really good. They shut down Washington last week on Thursday night. I expect that this Browns offense really struggles to move the ball. It might be a low-scoring affair because the Browns defense is still awfully good, but I feel like the Packers are going to end up pulling away with this one.
Here's the thing, Will. The Packers need to win these games because I really believe that the home field advantage in the NFC is going to come down to Green Bay and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And whoever has that home field advantage is going to have a huge advantage in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, the Packers have to take advantage of games against poor opponents just by happenstance of their division is going to be competitive, probably more competitive than Tampa. So these are games the Packers need to take early.
And I think Green Bay's better than Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but I agree with
Tampa Bay has a lot easier schedule just by virtue of their division.
Yes.
The Bengals are 2-0. The Vikings are 1-1. The Vikings are -3. Of course, the big news. Joe Burrow is not playing. Kind of good news for the Bengals is they have a pretty reliable backup.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the Bengals here at 7. I really like them. I think this Vikings Carson Wentz is a complete wild card. I know that everybody's been able to play well for KOC, but I think Carson Wentz goes in and throws 3 picks, and the Bengals steal one. Jamar Chase goes off, and Jake Browning is comparable. I mean, I know that we talk about Joe Burrow as this elite quarterback, but Jake Browning seems to step in and be awfully comparable whenever he's given the opportunity to play meaningful snaps for this Bengals team. I think this offense keeps rolling. They have mojo after winning a game they had absolutely no business winning last week. I think they go into Minnesota and win a gritty game.
No way the Bengals are winning this game on the road. Give me the Vikings. Next up is 1-1 Pittsburgh at 1-1 New England, 1.5 point spread. The Steelers are the favorite. I don't even have to ask you who you're picking in this one. I know exactly who you're picking in this one. You're taking New England.
I'm not actually. I think I'm going to take the Steelers here. The Steelers here. I say that because the Steelers have been really bad against the run. The Patriots have struggled on the ground thus far. I think this is just one of those games kind of comparable to what we talked about with Green Bay. With the Steelers are going to have to win games and beat teams like this Patriots team early in the year. This is a really competitive division in a competitive AFC, and if the Steelers want to be there at the end, which they view themselves as a Super Bowl contender, which is not true, but they still think they're a playoff team and they have to win these games to get there. Give me Rodgers against Vrabel. Give me
I'm surprised.
The Steelers over the Patriots in Foxborough.
So you don't believe in the Patriots like you did early in the year?
I do believe in the Patriots. I just think this is a Steelers game. The Patriots' schedule is still awfully easy. It's light. I have no qualms about
Yeah,
them.
but you
They
thought
can.
the Dolphins sucked, and they don't. They clearly are.
I thought the Dolphins were horrible. That was an overreaction of week 1. They looked better last week.
I kept
Really,
telling everyone it was a matchup thing. The Colts figured something out. That's pretty much all it was.
I still think I'm going to take the Steelers here on the road. And I'm going to get burnt. I always get burnt whenever I pick the Steelers to do anything. So I'm sure the Patriots will win, but I'm going to pick the Steelers here.
Staying in the 1:00 games on Sunday, the Jets are in Tampa Bay. The Jets are up 2. The Buccaneers are 2-0 and a 7-point favorite. But Will, the winning team coming off Monday night, that's always a concern. They always seem to. Every team that wins on Monday night seems to underperform the following Sunday. So any chance you could take 8 points in the Jets over 2 points in the Buccaneers?
I would if Justin Fields was playing, but I'm not going to take that with Tyrod Taylor under center.
I like the Buccaneers as well. I think this Buccaneers team is really, really good. I'm not surprised at all to see them in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Here's the game I'm most confident in this week as far as taking the underdog, and that is 1-1 Las Vegas and at 1-1 Washington. Washington is a 3-point favorite. I made Washington worth 4. The Raiders were 6, and the Raiders are winning this game, Will.
I agree with that. I really like this Raiders team on the road. I think that Washington, I think they get back on track. They play better. They're going to play against a defense that's not nearly as competitive as Green Bay is. But I think this Raiders team has a lot of gritty. They had a sour taste in their mouth after that late Monday Night Football loss to the Chargers. Geno did not perform very well. He performs better, and they steal a win in Washington.
Well coached. Don't make a lot of mistakes. This Raiders team is going to be. I don't know if they're a playoff team, but they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, you're not going to want to play them. They are never going to be an easy win.
1-1 Atlanta is at 2 Carolina. I have Atlanta worth 4, Carolina worth 6. The Falcons are favored by 5.5. Will, your pick?
I'm going to say the Falcons right now, but I could be swayed to pick the Panthers.
I'm taking the Panthers. The Atlanta team looks, I don't want to use the word soft, but not the kind of team that's going to put its foot on the neck of a divisional opponent on the road. I think the Panthers are going to win this game.
The only reason that I feel confident in the Falcons is I think that Bijan is going to slash the Panthers. This is a Panthers team that struggled mightily against the run week 1 against Jacksonville. They're going to play a much better running back, and Bijan, he is incredibly hard to bring down. I think he goes for 140 and 2 touchdowns.
The 0-2 Texans are the 1-1 Jaguars. I have this game as a complete toss-up. Vegas has Jacksonville a favorite by 2 points. Houston or Jacksonville, Will?
This might be the toughest game of the week because I find it really hard to believe the Texans are going to go 0-3, but I really like that Jags offense. I think that they are going to be really good this year. I would like to know, what's your pick?
Jaguars are winning this game.
Okay. I think I'm going to match you on this just for the simple reason of I think that the Texans have a little, I guess, fatigue fog after playing on Monday night, even though they lost a tough one against Tampa Bay. That can be bad for morale, and I think that the Jags overcome some deficiencies where they played the Texans last year.
Jacksonville is just so good on so many plays on Sundays and then just gives games away.
They are. We are also talking about a Jacksonville team that was a awfully weak defensive pass interference away from being 2-0. So I think that 1-1 record's probably a little guess. It doesn't tell the whole picture. I mean, they lost.
Yeah, but
last
they're an
week.
Average team, so it does kind of tell the picture.
That's probably true. I think that they're average in a lot of places. It probably is accurate, but still,
Colts look like the best team in the division, though, right?
Oh, I think without question so far. I don't think there's any argument there. I think that they're a tier above anyone else. The Texans have struggled offensively.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
On the ball to? That's what I kept saying coming into the season. Who's going to throw the ball to?
I think this Jaguars offense is going to be really dangerous. I'm not convinced on the defense being competitive. I mean, this Jacksonville defense, I believe, is top 5 in the league. and total yards and points per game. So, I mean, they're performing. I think it just comes down to, are they going to be able to get enough stops against the Texans? And Stroud has had the Jags number. This is I agree with the 5-5. I think it's a complete toss up. I am going to take the home team though.
I can't believe this is a 1:00 game, Will. 2-0 Rams at 2-0 Eagles. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites, which means that Vegas thinks these two teams are dead even. They're giving the Eagles the home field edge, and I think they're right. I have the Rams worth 7, the Eagles worth 3, and I'm just going to tell you, Will, because the points are more than double, I'm definitely taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams too. I think 7 for the Rams is, you got to go with that. If you're not taking that, you're crazy.
It is in Philadelphia. That's worth 3.5 points at least. Like I said, I think Vegas thinks these two teams are pretty even.
They are. I mean, can we talk about the fact that this Eagles team has not looked good? Like, this is not they've not been firing on all cylinders. They're struggling offensively, and I think the Rams can exploit them a lot. The Rams were
going across country, though, for a 1:00 game.
I don't think McVay and Stafford, a team that's operated like that, Puka Nacua shows up every single week. I just don't think they have the players that matters. I think that they're just gamers. They're going to show up regardless where they're at. They're going to be prepared.
The history of the NFL, Will.
I know. I just like the Rams here.
Me too. I'm just making a counter argument. 4:00 on Sunday, there are 2 games and one really, really good one. The 1-1 Broncos are in Los Angeles to take on the 2-0 Chargers. I have the Broncos worth 6. The Chargers worth 4. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorite, which means Vegas thinks the Broncos are better, it seems.
I'm going to take the Broncos at 6. If this were
You're 5 and slap Jim Harbaugh on his face again.
I am. I think that they've performed awfully well. If this was a 5-5, I'd take the Chargers, but I like the little boost of the Broncos being a slight favorite, getting more points there. That's just odds. I mean, you're seeing if Vegas thinks these two teams are even, and you have it to where you think that one team is slightly worse than the other, and I'm going to get more points, why wouldn't I take it? That's just math.
It's the kind of game the Broncos win, coming off that loss. The Chargers coming off a really good win, but I would just really believe in Jim Harbaugh.
I know you do, and I think that it would be easily convincible to take the Chargers in this position. I just, for the sake of our competition, getting the 6 out of 10, I think is a difference here.
Winless Saints at 1-1 Seahawks. The Seahawks are 7.5-point favorites. I have the Saints worth 7. The Seahawks worth 3.
Give me the Seahawks here. I think the Saints cover, but I think the Seahawks ultimately win.
I think Seahawks win this game by as many points as they want. I think the Saints are horrible, and the last couple of weeks has been a mirage that they've even been in these games. Let's go to the 4:25 games, and they're going to give us Cowboys-Bears in prime time rather than Broncos-Chargers or Rams-Eagles.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
Cowboys are a 1.5-point favorite in Chicago. Have both teams worth 5. Bears or Cowboys?
Does it matter?
No.
I guess the Cowboys. I don't know. This is one of those games.
The Bears are winning this game.
You think so?
Yes.
All right, let me hear you.
You can only beat the Giants by 3. It's going to be tough to win in Chicago. Sorry. And this Bears team's not bad. I'm not sure about the quarterback. I'm not sure about all of it, but I don't think they're a bad team.
Yeah, I think you convinced me. I'm going to take the Bears here too. No, I'm not. I'm taking the Cowboys. It's supposed to be rainy, and I like the Cowboys' run game better.
You're going to regret that
one. I'm going to live with it. I think Schottenheimer's offensive run scheme has been really good these first 2 weeks. I think that the Bears will find a way to lose this game. Like, I have no faith in the Bears winning. I think the Bears lose this game. I think that Lions game took a lot of morale out of their locker room. I think it took a lot of wind out of their sails. I think they just come out flat.
Also, 4:25, the 2-0 Cardinals are at the 1-1 49ers. I have the Cardinals worth 6 points, 49ers worth 4. Vegas says San Francisco is a 2.5-point favorite.
I'm going to agree with Vegas. I think the 49ers win here.
I think the Cardinals go to 3.
They played so bad last week. I think that this 49ers team with Mac Jones is going to be actually pretty good. So
It might very well be.
McCaffrey looks to have found another step coming back from his injuries last year. I think he runs all over him. Kyler throws into a couple messes. He doesn't find Marvin Harrison Jr. They struggle to move the ball on offense. This is one of those where like the Cardinals should win because I do think the Cardinals are a good football team, but the 49ers, just with more experience and better coaching, get it done.
I can definitely buy that, and you almost convinced me to change my mind, but I'm going to make the 49ers prove it to me for a week.
Okay.
Sunday night, the Chiefs could go to 0-3. They are in New York to face the Giants. Both teams 0-2. The Chiefs are a 6-point favorite on the road, and no chance the Chiefs are going 0-3, right?
No, the Chiefs are winning.
Yeah. I don't even think we need to tune into that one.
Nope.
Monday night, a pretty good one. The Detroit Lions are in Baltimore. Both teams are 1-1. They have the Ravens a 4.5-point favorite. I thought it'd be a lot more than that. So I put the Lions were 7, the Ravens were 3.
That's a tough one. I really like the Lions getting double the points.
I'm a Lions fan. They're not winning this game in Baltimore.
But I agree with that. I think Baltimore wins.
I mean, I hope they do. I can't imagine. Baltimore just isn't going to lose at home very much.
The Lions really struggle with mobile quarterbacks.
I think the Ravens are better than the Packers.
Packers
handled
really
the Lions,
good.
And it wasn't as close as the final score.
Yeah, he is.
And as we speak, Buffalo is driving to go ahead 2 touchdowns, as we kind of predicted. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The game's not over, but it's
over.
Tending that way. Congratulations on your 1 point so far this week.
Thank you. This is going to be a tough week. There's a chance that I could be wrong on every single one of those games.
I agree. I feel the same way. I feel really confident in a few of them. I really feel confident in Baltimore. I really think the Raiders are going to win that game in Washington. And
I think the Rams are going to beat the Eagles.
I'm not sure the Rams are as good as people think they are.
You know what?
That's another one.
Give me the Colts. Give me the Colts.
Whoa.
Yep. I'm going to be a homer. Give me the Colts.
Well, you can be a homer all you want, but they're winning this game. So thanks so much, Will.
Yep,
we will talk to you on Monday as you wrap up week 3.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. This is a good competitive slate that will probably end up being just a bunch of nasty football games.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's really too bad that they're going to give us Cowboys-Bears.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. The people deserve Broncos-Chargers. Absolutely deserve Broncos-Chargers.
Or Rams-Eagles. Or Steelers-Patriots. Or Raiders-Washington. Or
hell, give me the Cardinals-49ers. Give me the Cardinals-49ers.
All those games are better than Cowboys-Bears. Thanks so much to Will for joining the Central Indiana Sports Report and previewing and predicting some NFL games. Love that hour every week. And thank you for listening. Please do us a huge favor and help spread the word about the Central Indiana Sports Report. We're out here talking about Central Indiana sports every single day by sharing this podcast with an NFL fan in your life. And, of course, that would put us forever in your debt. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.